What's up, guys? 22.2 tricks and tips coming at you. Pretty simple workout today. It's deadlifts and it's bar facing burpees. The workout ascends and then descends in reps. So it goes from 1 to 10 and then back down to 1. Deadlift weight is 225 for guys, 155 for ladies, and there's a scale weight of 135/95. The bar facing burpees have a couple new standards that we want to go over. Let's talk about those first, and then I'll tell you my tricks and tips. So first with the deadlift, nothing really changes there. The only thing that I really read on the list, and you should definitely go read the standards yourself, but the one thing that I read on there that I thought was interesting, not that it's not a rule already, but is everything needs to be completely behind the bar. A lot of times you'll see people deadlift with a tucked chin like this, and that head ends up being in front of the bar. That's a no rep. Your head has to finish behind the bar. So every rep touches the ground, finishes locked out, knees are locked out, hips are forward and locked out, head and shoulders are behind the bar. So if we're in front of the bar at all, that's a no rep. So from the profile, we should be able to see everything behind. That's really the only deadlift standard that I read. Of course, there's no bouncing the deadlift, right? So make sure that on the way down, we're not bending the elbows to make the barbell bounce up a little bit higher. Also, forgot to add, you can't use gymnastic grips in this workout. You have to leave those off. It has to be bare hands on the barbell. On the burpees, there's a lot of funny standards here, okay? They have this line running down. Hopefully the line that gets put on the ground is a little bit straighter than this one. When you go, obviously on your bar facing burpees, we have to face the bar, okay? Nothing changes as far as chest and thighs touch the ground. Just like always, make sure chest, thighs touch the ground. Now this year, like past years, there's this line. It needs to split you right in half, okay? Your chest is straight down the line. Your hands and feet straddle the line. Your feet and hands have to stay inside the plates here. So like if your bar starts bouncing over, right, you wouldn't be inside the plate, so make sure the bar stays in the middle. Okay, to get up from the burpee, we can walk it up, hop it up, whatever you want. But to finish that rep, you jump over the bar. Now that's where some of the things have changed this year. When you jump over the bar, you no longer have to have a 2-footed takeoff. So we can kind of skip over the bar and land. Now where you could get a no rep would be, both feet have to be off the ground as you go over the top of the bar, right? So you can't do this, right? Where my foot is still behind, okay? This foot has to be across before this leg touches the ground. So that's really the only standard that changed. The one that I think is gonna get a lot of people is the same that's been in the open for a while, but not a lot of people follow it, is when you're trying to go fast on these burpees, sometimes you end up jumping across and you end up at this like 45-degree angle. You cannot descend into your burpee rep until your hips have got back in line with the bar, right? So for example, sometimes you'll see people go a little fast and they'll get across the bar. And even though I'm gonna go to the ground and my chest and thighs are gonna be over the bar as they should, when I went down, I was not centered up with the bar. So you have to be centered up with the bar before you descend into your burpee rep. So keep that in mind. That'll be one that I'm sure a lot of judges will miss. Hopefully your gym owners are paying attention and the head judges are walking around making sure that that happens, okay? Deadlift tricks, okay? We want to shorten that range of motion as much as we can. There's no sumo deadlift, so we can't go inside the legs or on top of the legs, but we want to shorten that range of motion as much as we can. So bring your hands in as far as you can get them, okay? It's 100 deadlift reps if you were to finish it. If you're able to shorten that range of motion an inch on the way down, an inch on the way up, that's 200 inches that you get to shorten it. The other thing is, if we grab the bar in a normal clean grip, you know, obviously hook grip so you save it, that also kind of extends your arms down. So anybody that does deadlifts here knows that you end up with your shoulders tucked back. When you do a clean deadlift, your arms are a little bit longer here. So if we can get our hands in as close as we can and go with a clean grip, you'll have a little bit longer arms. If you can save 400 inches through the whole workout, that's a lot of time that you save. Other than that, really the only other thing is trying to speed the reps on the descent, okay? Kind of lose tension in the hamstrings, lean over a little faster, tap and go. The only thing with that is we have to make sure that we're staying nice and tight through here, because if we get a little sloppy, that low back's gonna hurt. For those that do have low back pain, one suggestion that I take, or that I would give, is break up early and go to singles early as well. Just make sure that on that last deadlift, whatever it is that your set is, that you make sure that barbell gets back to center, okay? Gets back to center because you gotta do those burpees and you have to stay inside. So on that last deadlift, just make sure you settle it inside, but other than that, you can just kind of be all over the place if you wanted to. That's my really only deadlift tips. Try to breathe through them. You're gonna hold your breath a lot, so it's gonna jack your heart rate up. On the burpees, let gravity do most of the work on the way down. So almost like plop. So we're kind of like plopping down to get to the ground. When we stand up, you can slow your heart rate down and go a little slower by stepping up on the burpees. So you like plop down, and then we're gonna step up. Now, the key to a good step up burpee is that big step to the bar. We wanna limit the number of steps that we do in order to get to the bar. So if you're burping and you're stepping here, then you're having to take another step to get to the bar and then load to jump off, okay? You're slowing yourself down. So when you go to do your step, make sure that you step as close to the bar as you can, so when this foot comes up, we're across and we're ready to move into our next burpee, okay? One thing I do want to caution you on, if you're somebody like myself who has some low back issues, stepping is going to cause this kind of turning of your hips over and over. Add that to hinging, you're going to blow your low back up. So just if you're a stepper and you think you're going to get pretty far in this workout, just know that you're probably going to blow up that one side that you tend to step with the most on. Now, if we're trying to go fast on these burpees, obviously you plop down and you're gonna hop up to the bar. But when you hop up at like a 45-degree angle. I was kind of doing them earlier, right? We hop up and we kind of get close to the bar this way, kind of like we're hopping up on a surfboard. From here, you jump across at another 45-degree angle. And now we turn and we do it again going this way, right? What that allows for you to do, it allows for you to kind of move and hopefully you just stay in a circle coming back, or a half circle coming back and forth, right? So we hit the ground, plop, hop, hop, back into it. Go back the same direction so that way we're not going in a circle and getting dizzy. Okay, and that's how you go fast. You slow it down by stepping. Stepping isn't much slower than hopping, but it will slow you down a bit so you can breathe. And that's the main strategy here, is kind of pace it out. I would say for the first 5 minutes, try to step the burpees, because that's going to allow you to kind of keep yourself under control. Okay, staying under control is major key, and then the last 5 minutes you just send it and hopefully get as far as you can. I think most people are looking at like, assuming that the weight or isn't something that's just going to force you to do singles early on. You're going to be looking at trying to get to the 8 on the back end. I think if you were somebody that was getting into the 8th round or so in week 1, you probably could be looking at getting down to 5 or 4s. And then if you were 10 plus rounds in that week 1, you might be able to finish this thing depending on what the weight is. So set yourself with some pretty high goals. Break it up early if you need to. Pace it out. Warming up for this workout. The main thing is to get hot, get warm, okay? If the first time your heart rate spikes on this workout is the round of 6, you're screwed, okay? So in the warm up, I'd say hit a nice bike, 10 minutes, get sweaty, okay? Then start moving through some dynamic stuff. I'd like to see maybe some banded good mornings or some leg swings just to kind of get the back of the legs fired up. We'll do our 7s again, kind of getting the shoulders warmed up with the bands, and then focus on hip flexors. Right? This is going to pull you forward a lot, so that could load up your low back and stretch out the hamstrings and quads. Okay. Then we'll move into some getting our bodies prepped and get them hot. I'd say 10 to 15 second bike sprint, followed by some empty bar deadlifts and maybe a few up downs over the bar, and then stop and take a little break. Add some weight, something similar to that 10 to 15 second bike, a little bit heavier deadlift with a few more burpees, and kind of do that a few more times so you can kind of fill it out. But what we definitely want to do is right before we get, or as we get closer to the workout, really spike the heart rate as high as we can get it, have time to chill, bring it back down, and then we're ready to go. But I'm telling you, the biggest mistake people will make will start this workout without getting their heart rate spiked, and then they'll hit the round 6 and they will crash and burn. So those are my tricks and tips. Good luck. See you later.